On our next slide, you'll see Mr. Ferris again, Rory. He is currently working at several different jobs. This is when he was working in the kitchen at Monomoy High School. And then you'll see a beautiful picture, and that's of Georgia Latham. We need the next slide, please. I'll talk slower. We good? We need the one that says our commitment to the to Cape Cod special needs community.
There we go.
Thank you. And action. Okay, so that is Rory. He's working in the kitchen. And then the beautiful young lady with the bubbles all around is Georgia. And she has a twin sister named Vivian. You may see them bopping around Chatham with their beautiful mother, Amy. They both have autism. And then we have the young man in the lower corner, Jax. And what we really want to capture in our cafe is fostering a supportive and an engaging environment where all individuals can showcase their talents, build confidence, and achieve their fullest potential. When you see these three individuals, you may not understand how many strengths and skills that they have, simply because they may not be able to articulate the way you and I do, or really, what is it? Sorry. Are we good now? Okay, sorry. Someone said I had to move to the next slide. Anyway, so these individuals, they can show a lot. They have a lot of art, and they have a lot of different talents and strengths that we want to showcase. The next slide, I'm just going to
I can look.
Is it Vivi on there? Okay. So this next slide is about statistics. And I'm sure many of you heard that autism is going up and there's an incline and we have to do something about this, but the statistics are real. And just since 2000, I should have worn my glasses, just since 2000, there has been a 317% increase in autism alone. Now it's a huge spectrum. It can be people that you may not even really understand that they have autism, all the way to significantly impaired. However, every single individual on the autism spectrum struggles in some capacity. They may be struggling internally or externally. The stimuli may be too much, but the increase is real. And it's 1 in 36 individuals that have autism now. And if you think of 1 in 36, out of that 36, 1 in 4 have profound autism. Profound autism is the individuals that are self-injurious. They're hitting themselves, they're biting themselves, they are not able to get toilet trains, they can't feed themselves, they can't verbalize their concerns, they could be walking around with a broken leg and they wouldn't even be able to tell us, and they're just in pain. So if you think of your loved ones, and out of 36 family members, if they have autism, 1 in 4 are significantly impaired. And these are the ones that we are fighting for. These are the individuals and the families that we just absolutely adore and want to show that even though their child may be exhibiting a lot of difficulties, there's so much more good in them than what those difficulties are. And statistically shown, in the United States, only about 19% of adults with developmental disabilities are employed in a competitive job in the community. And that's what we want to do. We want to change that statistics, even if it's just on Cape Cod. We want to get that 19% much higher for these individuals and these families. So if you can go to the next slide, please. About us. This is our cute, wholesome page. So in that first picture there, you'll see Claire. She's a resident of Chatham as well. And Susanna, she is a resident of Harwich. And she's now off at Johnson and Wales, I believe. And she was one of our wonderful best buddies. Claire right here is working with the Mariners, which is another partnership that we have. And this cafe, we want to service families and friends and individuals with special needs. It's going to be a beautiful brewing joy. We are going to, like any successful cafe, we want to have high quality baked goods and delicious coffees and treats and teas and pastries. And in that middle picture is Kylie Small and Jesse Horsfall. I've had them since 5th grade, and now they are almost 21, and I'm very upset because that means they're moving on soon. And then in that last picture is my personal daughter, Jenny, and she's hugging Jesse. And this is just a moment that you see when you are walking the halls of Monomoy, or when you're in the community and these precious individuals see some of the best buddies out there. It's just a loving embrace, and that's really what we want to capture in the cafe. We want it to serve as a community hub that raises awareness and acceptance while fostering understanding of different abilities and how these individuals can contribute to society. Like I said, there's so much more to them than just what is on the outside. They're inside, they're full of compassion, they are full of drive, they are probably the sweetest individuals you could ever possibly want to be with. Emma and I are pretty dorky, and like we look forward to just hanging out with our students at all times. But it's amazing. So the next slide, please. Is Kai on there? Okay. So in our first one, it says support, and that is Kai Goley, and he is a resident of Chatham, and his mother and his father, I mean, I don't think the world could be blessed with two better parents to fit Kai's needs. Kai has a lot of struggles in life, and if you look at what he's doing here, you see this purple little squishy thing, and it's hooked up to a blender. And as you and I may be like, all right, we're gonna go get muffins, and we grab everything and we mix it together. Well, for Kai, he's able to do the same exact thing. It just looks differently. He has his switch attached to the KitchenAid, and he hits that button, and then it turns on, and he is actually making the muffins. So when I say the special needs individuals are making the muffins and the pastries, they truly are. They're the ones doing it. We're just sitting in the back, kind of cheering them on and problem shooting. So the way we can support is just by doing, following us on social media, attending our fundraising events, and if you have a loved one with a disability and you want to make a meaningful impact for them, or a friend, or like me, I didn't grow up with anybody that had special needs in my family. It just seemed to be kind of, not to be cliche, but it was like my calling. I just wanted to be part of their lives, and it's the same for Emma. Mm-hmm. So any volunteer, in the middle there is Claire. She's a resident of Harwich, thank you. And she is probably the poster child for internships. This girl, I can give her anything to do, and she's like, yes, I'll do it, I'll go do laundry, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll go feed the animals. She is just a beacon of light, and that smile is always on her face. She's got this cute little boppy hairdo that's always bopping around. She's our star athlete on the basketball team. She's just an amazing individual. So what we need for volunteers as we move forward, if anybody ever wanted to donate their time to help us create this cafe by making the countertops, or donating different materials, or their time to help job coach, or simply support us by going to the cafe, that would be amazing. And then the last one is donate. And in this picture, we have Grace Jodis, who is also a resident of Chatham. And every contribution matters, no matter the size. Everything makes a difference. And then just to go back before we go on to the highlights of our journey, if we can just take a look at that middle girl again, Claire, because her mother spoke to us, and when we were speaking to her at the initial meeting with the board in Harwich, I almost broke down into tears, because I always knew that the family struggled when their kids reached 22, like what do we do after that? But her mother said it so genuine and authentically, and she and the other moms refer to the night before their 22nd birthday as the cliff. And on that 22nd birthday, their families fall off a cliff. There isn't a place for their kids to go anymore. They've kind of had the Cadillac limousine service from early childhood through age 22 in the schools, with speech and OT and therapies, and everything that they need is pretty much right there at their disposal. Then they wake up on their 22nd birthday not allowed to go back into the schools. And what do you do at that point? They feel like it's a cliff. So that's what we want. We don't want that to be a cliff anymore. We want that to be the cafe. And we want them to have a place to go and know that they're loved and welcomed and proud to be who they are. So thank you.
All right. The highlights of our journey. We got that slide? Nope. There we go. Okay. So we are a nonprofit 501c3 fiscal partnership with the Harwich Chamber of Commerce Charitable Foundation.
It's a mouthful.
I know, that's a lot of C's there. And the paperwork is being processed with IRS. All right. Next slide, you can see a picture of the group that presented in front of the select board and got their endorsement to employ the residents with disabilities. We have an online fundraiser link where we are still accepting donations. Sorry. Next slide, you can see some of the beautiful pictures and faces of the kids that come out to these events and volunteer their time and just come out to have fun. We did a family fun day at the end of August, which was amazing. It was right at Brooks Park, and we made the Cape Media News, and we raised $6,000 just in that day.
It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And if you were lucky enough, you saw me trying to do cartwheels in an orange tutu that were very unsuccessful.
But we got some cars to turn in,
We did.
so. All right, the next slide highlights our Pampered Chef fundraiser along with our Harwich Mariners Night. Rory and Claire, along with Kylie and Kai in that picture, have an internship with the Harwich Mariners where they come out and they volunteer and they work with the program. And they did raffle tickets. Rory did hot dogs, hamburgers. I mean, you can tell them to do anything and they'll try with a smile on their face. William with the Pampered Chef, we need adaptable tools for some of our students. And, down here is Music in the Port. Sorry, I got this last night, so
Yeah,
I wasn't
I know,
really
prepped.
You can see Shana, Kai, and I, and we're set up outside of the Harwich Chamber of Commerce, and we collected $572 just with Music in the Port on Wednesday nights. Right, the Cranberry Harvest Festival. We made little dog treats. You can see Stella. Oh, I'm like pointing to the pictures. Stella, and she made all of those dog treats, which we later sold during those 2 days. Reese and Lily, one of our best buddies / interns, created little dog bandanas. Reese brought in her cricket from home and taught us how to use it, which led to us buying one for the cafe. And then Rory's explaining the recipe of
The recipe of the dog treats.
Yeah, so we have like accessible recipes and stuff, so he was showing them how to do that. We had a Low Tide Farm plant fundraiser. There's Shana's dad and Jesse. You can see Jesse's loading in the plants into his car, helping with that. All right. Upcoming events. There, all right. So we did have our Halloween dance last Thursday on October 24th, and it was, the best event ever.
It was so much
It
fun.
was so fun. Thursday, we have the Halloween trick-or-treat through the Harwich Port and Harwich Town. And then we have a Friendsgiving pasta dinner, which is TBD. We have our Thanksgiving arts and crafts, which will come later.
Figuring out a time and place for that.
We have Harwich Christmas Stroll, December 6th, the Wauquasit Merry Market, December 7th, and Popcorn and Pages in December. So we try and do, each month we'll do an event for these families and just to build a community. So we're also doing the cafe, but we want it to be much more than the cafe. We want it to be a community and a place, like Shana said, where they can come and feel loved by everyone.
Any questions? And please follow us on any of the social media and our website, because that's where you'll find all of the volunteer opportunities, just updates about these beautiful individuals and all of the strengths and things that they've accomplished. There is no location yet. However, we are so close. We actually have a place that is 90% going to be all set. It's in Harwich Port. I just can't exactly say where, but we're so close that we're actually making the countertops as we speak. A dear friend of ours is going to create them for free for us to make the countertops. And we are in the process of purchasing the coffee makers, which is going to be fully handicap accessible. You just have to push the buttons and then we can
Like pictures
kind of,
and stuff. Too.
yeah, it's really, really cool, all the
Yeah.
different tools and devices. So it will be in Harwichport. And we also are partnering with various churches in Chatham and in Harwich to do as our baking section. We want to kind of disperse all over the place so we can have people from Orleans have a location to come in, a place from Dennis to come in. So it's not just in Harwichport. We want it to be a Cape-wide community hub. So we will do our baking off-site, bring it into the cafe, and hopefully get as many individuals and families to not fear that cliff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.